Before we dive in, please note that the content of this podcast is for entertainment purposes only and is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical or mental health advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or mental health concern. Now on to the episode. Welcome to Life Unfolded, the podcast where we dive into the beautiful chaos of growing up, navigating love and relationships, and forging a fulfilling career. I'm your host, Melody Jordan, a 30-something creative professional who's taken life by the horns. In this podcast, I'll share my personal experiences and the hard-earned lessons I've learned along the way to inspire and empower you to live your most authentic life. Whether you're seeking advice, a fresh perspective, or just a good story, join me as we explore the twists and turns of life's unfolding journey. Let's get started. Today, I am super excited because I'm actually recording a video version of this podcast as well. I got a little studio set up in my living room and using a bunch of new gear that I got from my media productions company, like a monitor so I can see more clearly. My Sony cameras have little screens on them and you can actually flip them. So if you're recording yourself, you can see, but it's such a tiny screen. So if you have it like far away or it's just hard to see details. So I got a 7-inch monitor that I have hooked up and make sure everything's clear and in focus, and so excited about that. Not only is that going to be great for doing video work, but also for product photography, which I've been getting really into. So having it hooked up to my camera while I'm taking pictures helps me not have to like hunch over and squint at the little screen. And when I take the picture, then I can see, okay, yeah, everything's where I want it. It's going to make things so much more efficient. And I think definitely improve the quality of the work that I'm doing too. So that's exciting. I also have a different mic hooked up today. So we'll see what the sound quality is like compared to previous episodes. Usually I use my Zoom condenser mic. I forget the official name of it, but it came in a bundle with my Zoom pod track that I use to record audio for podcasts and videos. And I love that. It's great for recording spoken word. But I'm going to be doing some vocals today too. And so I hooked up the MXL, just a little bit nicer for singing, I think. So that's what I'm doing for the podcast. So we're just going to hear the difference. I've got a pop filter and also an isolation hood wrapped around the mic. So when I'm singing later, it'll help absorb some of the room sounds, the echoes. And I mean, ideally, I'd be in a totally padded room. But you can make it work so easily now with all these cool accessories. And yeah, I'm excited for that. Well, I guess since we talked last, I had a song come out. It's on all the major music streaming platforms, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, YouTube. It's called Ringleader. So just look up Ringleader by Melody Jordan and you can listen to it. It's been really fun to talk to my Amazon devices and tell them to play the song. The one that I'm working on today is called Playing on Repeat, and it's a song that I wrote in 2012 or 2013. I can't remember the year exactly. It's been long enough. But I lost my sister suddenly and, unexpectedly in a pretty sad way. And it was a song that I wrote about how I could just hear like her voice, like an echo. And so it's called Playing on Repeat. And one of the lines is, "Your love is just a ghost. Your voice is an echo playing on repeat in my heart." So that's where the title came from, playing on repeat. And it's going to be some cool effects with like the echoing. And I'm just really excited to hear how it comes out. The producer I've been working with has been great at understanding the feel and overall vision for the songs. Like Ringleader, I think, was captured really well. And this one, I got the instrumental track back and it sounds so good. It's not as rockin' as Ringleader. It'll be more melodic and, emotional, heartfelt, and just really happy and excited for that. So that's what I'm going to be doing after I record this podcast. Last time we chatted too, I mentioned I was considering taking a break from my personal social media and ordered a book called Technopoly by Neil Postman. And so, yeah, I did get off of my personal account, my Facebook account. It's still there. I just haven't been using it. I've taken that time and really focused it on social media for my business, for MJ Media Productions. And not only that, but like putting energy into honing my skills and practicing more. It's amazing. Like the first day that I stopped using Facebook, I noticed myself reaching for my phone like so frequently. It was amazing, that pull that we have to check. Is there anything new? Is there anything exciting? Is somebody trying to talk to me? Is there this? Did they like what I posted? What is everyone else doing? Is there something like it's like that dopamine hit, like that reward. You open it and what am I going to get this time? And the first day was pretty much the only day that I just felt that pull so frequently to check. And I had deleted the app off my phone so that, it'd be easier to stick to my detox. And I would catch myself just grabbing my phone and then putting it back down. And then it wasn't as much, like I didn't think about it as much for the next 5 days of the first week. And now it's kind of like, if I even think about checking my personal Facebook, I kind of get like a wave of anxiety. Like it used to be, or maybe I thought it was excitement of seeing what's there, but now it's kind of like anxiety, like an overwhelm of notifications, a lot of which seem like spam to me anyways, just notifications. Like, why do I need to be notified of this? We have so much information coming at us all day, every day with these platforms. Like this page posted an event you might like. This person responded going to an event. This person did this. This person did that. Some post from a group you may have missed. And here's your top badge because you just so many things. And it's like, does this stuff really even matter? Why am I wasting energy and brain space on this? It really is. Once you take that out of your life, the thought of seeing all that again, I feel like anxiety. I don't even want to look anymore. And it caused some reflection too, where, if you're frequently posting on social media and you see the likes and, you may have the same group of people who tend to like everything that you post on there. And then when you don't go on social media, there's just way less communication. It's like, unless you're popping up at someone's feed, are they really thinking about you? It just really drives that point home, like I was saying in the last episode, how social media creates this like false sense of relationships and connection and support, where if you disappear, are those people, do you have a real genuine connection, like an actual relationship with these people? Or is it just because when you pop up in each other's faces, you just like and scroll? It's more of like a reaction than a relationship is all that it is. And it gives us the sense of being connected. But when you don't have that anymore, you realize you're not connected to hardly anybody. Social media has changed our definition of friendship. It's not normal to have 2,500 friends or 5,000 friends. Are you an influencer, entrepreneur, or small business looking to elevate your brand? Look no further than MJ Media Productions. We specialize in stunning website design, cohesive, polished branding packages, and top-notch video and audio production. Our team brings your vision to life, helping you stand out in a crowded market. Ready to make your mark? Visit mjmediaproductions.net today. MJ Media Productions, where your story comes to life. Nobody has that many friends. You get off of your social media and like the 130 likes, you don't talk to 130 people. I think it's just created a really unhealthy view of relationships and connection, and healthy self-esteem too. So I've been reading that book, Technopoly, and it's 199 pages. So I feel like I should have gotten through it fast. But it is like, it's really interesting, and there's some really valid points there. I mean, the book was written in 1992, I think, but applying it to where we are now with technology, it's just so true, just really impactful. But it is like a little more dense information and goes into the history of different systems and different cultures. And so it's taken me a little bit longer to get into. I think I've actually read like 2 other books since then too, which, okay, let me just go off on this little path here. The Magnolia Story was just really good. It's really inspiring and encouraging. And those are Chip and Joanna Gaines, the couple from Fixer Upper. I highly recommend that book. It's a pretty quick read, couple hundred pages. And then the other one I read was Whoopi Goldberg's memoir, My Mom, My Brother, and Me, Bits and Pieces, I think is what it's called. And oh my goodness, that woman has so much wisdom to share, just like great nuggets of life wisdom. So good. I really recommend that. I flew through both those books in the last week. But yes, so that was my little break from Technopoly. But back to Technopoly. Yeah, I started a notes section on my phone. So each time I came across a section that really stood out to me, I kept track of like the page. I think one of the thoughts that stood out to me the most so far is when a new technology is introduced, the pros and like the excitement of that technology are pushed so hard that people don't stop to consider the cons, the negative effects, and who is actually benefiting from it. It's really pushed on consumers of social media that it's going to benefit us. It's for us, right? It's for our good. It's to bring us closer together. But who's actually benefiting from it? How much information is being collected? And how is that information being used to keep us more addicted? And is that really good for us? I don't think so. And I think the book really encourages us as a society to slow down. Like once a technology comes in, it takes over the culture. And now our culture caters to the technology rather than the technology catering to us. Like instead of it being a tool, now it's like our God. We serve it. And that's not good, obviously. So it's really just this break from using social media for personal purposes has allowed for those realizations, and then really just getting off of that need to feel validated through false support, like artificial connection. And then having all the spare time. Did you know that the average person, the average teen, spends 8 hours or 9 hours a day on their phone? Can you imagine what more you could do, what else you could get done if you weren't scrolling on your phone? And so I've taken the extra time and I've put it into learning new skills, further developing skills I already have, and that's been awesome. Like I feel like I have this new energy in my business and more focus, and putting that time into marketing instead of personal, like doom scrolling, it just feels so much better. And so that's something to think about. If you've been teetering on the edge of taking a social media break, or even starting to wonder if it's negatively affecting you, I recommend getting that book, Technopoly. Or there's so many podcasts you can listen to. I mentioned one last time, Brendan Burchard's Motivation with Brendan Burchard. He's got some episodes that mention social media and the negative effects on mental health and productivity and all of that. So there's resources out there. I recommend looking into it and considering it in some way, whether it's a book or a podcast or whatever, social media. But I really think that our world needs a wake-up call when it comes to that, because it's causing so much division. It's causing more anger and upset. I really do think that the negatives outweigh the positives of it. I guess that's all I'll say on that for now. So next, I guess I'll pivot over to social media marketing and how that journey's been. So I hired a social media marketing consultant, and it's from another Oregon company, woman-owned. They handle accounting and marketing and social media management. I may have that wrong, but it's all virtual. Like I said, they're based out of Portland. I don't think I said that. I said they were Oregon, but they're based out of Portland. It's called the Boutique COO. So you can find them online, their website. And anyways, I actually found them because I was looking at job listings for freelance work, just trying to get some more gigs for video or photography, website design, anything like that. And I saw a job posting. They were looking for a social media manager. And I was like, well, I don't want to do that. But this company sounds like they could actually help my business. So from their job listing, I went to their website and ended up booking a session with their social media consultant. And we chatted for like 45 minutes, and holy cow, I got so much information out of that 45 minutes that, because I was thinking, well, maybe I'll just hire somebody to run my social media for me, because at that point, like a month ago, I was just so done and burnt out on it. But talking to her, I was like, okay, maybe I can do this myself. And so 45 minutes, all this information, we kind of came up with a strategy and things for me to start implementing. And so I've been doing that, and I've been seeing a steady increase in my reach, and engagement is taking a little longer to increase, but I think it's slowly happening. And so I love that. I wanted to throw that out there. If you have a business that you run, or if you're an entrepreneur, or you're trying to grow a social media following, I recommend reaching out to the Boutique COO and having them help you out with that. And maybe now I'll share some of the tips that I learned. So I think my biggest takeaway from that session was treating your business Instagram like a website. And so your title and your bio should tell them right away who you are, what you do, who you serve, and how you serve them. And then the highlights on Instagram are really important, and you create those from stories that you've posted. And so those are like the page tabs on a website. Like, so I have a behind the scenes, I have a video, I have a product photography, a podcast, and I can't remember. There's other ones, but it's like people go and click on those to see it's kind of like your portfolio right up front, rather than scrolling through all your posts. That tells them right off the bat, like the different things that you offer. And so I've been utilizing more stories and then creating highlights from that. So when people are at my page, they can just click and see what my work situation is like. If they want to see what my methods are, they can click on the behind the scenes. If they want to quickly see samples of my work without having to scroll through my page, they can see all the products if that's what they're interested in. Or if they're interested in podcasts, then they can just click on the podcast tab. Rather than scrolling through all my content to find the podcast post, whatever they're looking for, it's right there. And I just thought that was such a valuable piece of information. And so since then, I've gotten my highlights in order. And another piece of advice that she gave me was to download a template pack from Etsy. And branding is something that I can do. It's harder to do it for myself, I've found. Like, creating content for other people, like, that's my job. But then when it comes to maintaining my own, it kind of like gets put on the back burner. And so that was really helpful for me. I went on to Etsy and I found a template pack that matched the branding that I have been going for. And that's just made it so easy. It came with like so many different square templates, and then stories templates, and then even like highlight cover images. And so that way you have a consistent look throughout your Instagram grid. And so I think that's helped too. My grid has a more consistent look, kind of like if you go to my website and you look at my marketing materials, like my business cards, my brochures, they all have the same colors and fonts. And so now my Instagram is starting to look like that too. And that's something that I've taught when I do talk to people about building a brand and doing online or digital marketing, to have a cohesive look across all your platforms that should be recognizable no matter where you go. And so I'm just excited to finally start getting that with my own brand, and hope that is helpful for you. And I guess last thing that I'll talk about is pretty exciting accomplishment for MJ Media Productions. Our first print feature. I was brought on with a media publishing company, Active Media. They're based out of Salem, and they started a new publication in my area, Community Advantage. There's one for Lebanon and there's one for Sweet Home. And so I started taking photos for their businesses that they're featuring. So a lot of them have articles written about the business too. And so they have a contributing writer who does the interviews. And then I go in and I get pictures of either the food or the team, the interior, exterior, and all of that. And so a lot of my work was published, and I'm really just so thankful and just kind of in awe, I guess. It's pretty scary to take a leap and take a chance on yourself and start your own business, and really just going for it. And there's a lot of discouraging times, and I definitely have a long way to go still to meet my personal goals of what I think success is. I know that varies from person to person, but just to see that the work and the faith is paying off is really cool. And so I wanted to share that with you, not to boast about something that I've done, but to encourage you that if you are working towards something, whether it's a business or personal growth in some other area, a hobby or a skill, keep going. Don't stop. Keep going. It's gonna be hard sometimes, but if you know, like when you feel it in you that you're meant to be doing something, like it's the right thing to do, keep going. I just hope that this little story encourages you to keep hanging on so you can experience your big milestones too.
make sure to stop and reflect and see just how far you've come already, even if it doesn't feel like it. If you're like me, you're probably always thinking about what's next or where you want to go or where you want to be or where you think you should be. And I think that's good because it helps, at least for me, it helps push me to produce more and to be more productive. But when I stop and I look back and then realizing that you've probably done so many things that may not seem like that big a deal to you, but somebody else is like, whoa, that person is amazing. I can't believe they did that. I could not do that. I have no idea how I would even start to do that, but you did it. So take time to reflect and appreciate where you are and where you've been and what you've learned and accomplished so far. Till then, till next time, thanks for joining me on the Life Unfolded podcast. Talk to you later.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Life Unfolded. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe, share this episode, and leave us a review letting us know how much you love it. See you next time.